Lieutenant Juno woke to wet breath against her face and the unmistakable weight of something large sitting on her chest. She opened her eyes to find Storm, the Thornwolf pup she'd accidentally adopted, staring down at her with luminous amber eyes. His obsidian fur bristled along his spine, and a low rumble emanated from his throat. "What's wrong, boy?" Storm leaped off, landing silently despite his bulk. At 4 months old, he already massed 40 kilos of muscle and razor-sharp quills. He pawed urgently at the shelter's entrance flap. Outside, Refuge Station slept fitfully beneath Kura's 9 twin moons. 43 survivors of the mining vessel Prometheus, stranded on a planet whose ecology actively wanted them dead. The Thornwolves had been listed in the initial survey as priority alpha threat. Pack hunters, extreme aggression, avoid all contact. That assessment lasted exactly 6 days. On day 6, Juno had been gathering water when an adult Thornwolf materialized from the purple undergrowth. The creature stood nearly 2 meters at the shoulder, its body armored in flexible bone plates. Quills along its back, capable of piercing combat armor. Juno had frozen. Certain she was dead, the Thornwolf regarded her for a long moment. Then it turned and gave a sharp bark. A pup emerged from the brush, smaller, gangly, one ear torn and bleeding. The adult nudged the injured youngster toward Juno, made direct eye contact, and disappeared. Dr. Amari theorized the pack had recognized humans as intelligent toolmakers. Captain Rhodes's thought they might be territorial rivals with something worse in the forest. Juno suspected the truth was simpler. The Thornwolves knew what humans were about to face and decided orphans should stick together. Now Storm led her through the sleeping camp to the eastern perimeter, where their makeshift sensors hummed quietly. The pup stopped, raised his nose, and released 3 sharp barks. The pattern Juno had learned meant danger. She activated her calm Morris to Rhodes. "We have a situation." "Define situation." "Lieutenant Storm's giving warning calls. Something's out there." "Pause, we're trusting a Wolf now, sir. He's been right 4 times already. Remember the rock slide?" "Fine, I'm on my way." Juno knelt beside Storm, running her hand along his quilled spine. The pup leaned into her touch, but his attention never wavered from the darkness beyond the lights. By the time Rhodes arrived with the security team, Storm had been joined by 5 more Thornwolf pups, each positioned at regular intervals along the perimeter. They stood perfectly still, hackles raised, eyes fixed on the forest. "Jesus Christ," Rhodes muttered. "Where did they come from?" "The adults must have sent them," Juno said. "Look at their positioning. That's not random." Medical Officer Tran checked her scanner. "I'm picking up seismic readings. Multiple large masses approaching from the east." "Rhodes, they're moving fast." "Battle stations." Rhodes's voice cut through the night. "Everyone up. We have inbound hostiles." The forest erupted. They came from the darkness like living nightmares. The screeth parasitic creatures that the initial survey had somehow missed. 8-legged with bodies like oily shadows and mandibles that drip paralytic venom. Dozens of them moving with horrifying coordination. The humans opened fire. Plasma bursts illuminated the night in brilliant flashes. But the screeth were fast, far too fast. Then the Thornwolf pups charged. Storm moved like he'd been trained for war. He darted between screeths, his quills extending to create barriers, funneling the creatures toward human firing positions. The other pups mirrored his tactics with devastating precision, cutting off flanking routes, creating kill zones, working in perfect synchronization with the panicked colonists. Juno fired until her rifle overheated, watching in awe as Storm leaped onto a screeth twice his size. His jaws found the creature's neural cluster with surgical accuracy. The monster collapsed, and Storm was already moving to the next threat. A screeth broke through the line, heading straight for Tran. Storm intercepted, taking a slash across his shoulder that should have crippled him. Instead, he locked his jaws on the creature's leg and held on, quills extended, creating a shield with his own body while Tran scrambled to safety. The battle lasted 11 minutes dot. When silence fell, 2 humans were injured. 0 fatalities. All 6 Thornwolf pups stood battered but alive. Juno found Storm near the perimeter, blood seeping from a dozen wounds. She knelt beside him, hands shaking. "You saved us," she whispered. "You stupid brave pup." Storm licked her hand once, then rested his head against her knee. As dawn broke over Kura's 9, the forest moved. Adult Thornwolves emerged from the trees. A dozen, then 20, then more. They didn't enter the camp. They simply took positions around it, forming a living wall of fangs and quills and ancient predatory intelligence. The message was unmistakable. "This place is under our protection." Captain Rhodes found Juno tending to Storm's wounds. "Our long-range scanner just came back online. There are thousands of screeth in the deep forest. They were using us as bait for the Thornwolves, and the wolves knew." Juno said they sent their young to fight alongside us. Rhodes' voice cracked slightly. "They trusted us with their children." Juno looked at Storm, who had fallen asleep with his head in her lap. "We're pack now. That's what they're telling us. When the pack is threatened, everyone fights, even the pups." In the weeks that followed, the alliance solidified. Humans built fortifications. Thornwolves patrolled them. Humans treated injured wolves. Wolves taught humans to read the forest's dangers. The screeth attacked 3 more times, and 3 more times they were driven back. The xenobiologists filled reports trying to explain it. Symbiosis, mutual benefit, shared territorial interests. But Juno knew the truth was something the universe kept forgetting. Humans weren't special because they were smarter or stronger or more adaptable than everyone else. Humans were special because when a stranger left an orphan on their doorstep, they picked it up and called it family, because they could look at a creature evolution had designed to hunt them and see instead a friend who needed help. Because the first thing humanity always asked when encountering the unknown wasn't, "How can we survive this?" but how can we help each other? Storm stirred in his sleep, paws twitching with dreams of the hunt. Juno smiled and scratched behind his torn ear. They'd made it to Kura's 9, expecting to die alone. Instead, they'd found something no one anticipated. A pack that chose them back. And in the darkness between stars, in a universe that seemed bent on proving how hostile and empty it could be, that made all the difference.